today. I'd like to begin with our all rounder member with interests in diversified fields, a veteran and current patron in the apparel export industry and BAA. Also, the skill development and knowledge partner for BAA and EPCH. She is an active social worker, a philanthropist, and a spiritual educationalist. Friends, let's welcome Rohini Suryaji to share her journey spread across various experiences. Rohini ji,
Thank you so much, Tanya. That was such a sweet introduction. Very, very charming. Thank you so much. So, I welcome all the members here that are here and looking forward to hear each one of you. And it's going to be a wonderful next 1 hour, I'm sure, with the experiences that we are going to share. Uh, I have, when Achal asked me to do this, that I was wondering, I said, it's so easy to talk about yourself when nobody wants to listen to you. But when everybody wants to listen to you, you wonder what should you drag out from the history of being in this industry for 40 years now to be able to share and contribute to the mind and the inspiration that is required for us today also and for the future generations. To begin a journey in 1980, and this is 2020. It's been a journey of crossing almost like 2 or 3 worlds, from a nascent technological state to an extreme high level of technology. What I'm doing today, I was watching in Star Trek in 1980 or during my college and wondering, how did Spock manage to speak to so many people on that screen? And here we are, 40 years later, doing that. So technology is the future. And I remember when I joined this industry, my father said, "Are you going to become a darji?" you know. So I said, "No, Papa. It's like you should see the factory which I work in. It's very, very high tech." And that the factory that I started working with was Intercraft, and it was amongst the top 4 exporters of the country in those days. And I had to learn, and it was a great learning experience, almost like doing an MBA in the garment industry. As it is, the garment industry is only 45 years old, and I've been here for 40 years. So I've been through it all, I've seen it almost all. But today, there is so much more out there for me to learn and see that it is an inspiring industry to be with. It's not only India that I'm working with, we are working with the rest of the world. What is happening in the different countries, how things are moving, the globe, how we are looking at the business. It is business is not just manufacturing. The business today is the economics, the global political and social scenario. All those things are mattering for the business, that the trade wars that are happening today in the last 1 year during Corona time, Corona, Brexit, so many different things. From a very simple time, we have moved to extremely complex times with the communication. So when I look back, some of the things that really, I wonder how I survived. And I was thinking to myself last night is, what should I say to you to say that I still love the industry so much? And what should I say to you that should inspire the younger generation to be able to understand what it is to be in this industry? The only thing that I think that really helped me in this industry was the value of discipline and the complete focus to give my all to the work that I was doing. And along with the work in the industry, I never ever stopped doing any social initiative programs, which I have also, we have also tried at BA to work those things out. And I'm sure that that will be a success for our generations to come. In terms of business, one of the first business lessons that I learned was, I think, in 81 or 82. It was one of those years when Ghungru was at its height in Delhi. I wonder if any one of you remember that at Moria Sheraton. So that was our party place. I had yet not joined the buying side. I was still in manufacturing. But I had some great friends. And during those days, some of the key customers for India, apart from stores like CNA, were Georgia Cowton, Rennie Dairy from France. And Georgia Cowton, Rennie Dairy, CNA really invested a huge amount in India, especially in apparel. And we used to be partying with the Georgia Cotton designers at Kugru. And I remember Shaktivel, who is chairman of AEPC now. Uh, he used to be one of the most fascinating human beings, I must say, that I met, and very, very hardworking. One of my common friends who was heading CNA at that time said that, Rohini, will you introduce Shaktivel to Georgia Cowton? I said, yeah, of course I will. And so we went through the introductions, and they started business. And one of the first business lessons that I learned was from Shaktivel. He, I think it was about a year later that he called me up and he said, Rohini, I want to meet you. Will you come over for lunch? So I said, yes, I will. And he gave me a packet of 6,000 rupees, which I still haven't spent. I said, what is this for? So he says, this is, because you got me the business and we started business and we're doing very well with this company. So this is your introduction fee. So I learned from him one thing, that if you want to do business, you have to let the other person also make money. And this is one of the key things that I learned. And later on, I think 10 years later, when I started my own buying office, I worked with, I had a friend in Hong Kong. They are big importers, Sindhis actually, and they wanted to start business in India with jackets. And he did the same thing. I introduced him to Gokuldas Exports. And I was on a trip to New York, and he said, I'd like to invite you for lunch. I said, all right, fine, great. Nice to have some good company. And I got another packet of $5,000. So that was, really something that I must focus on and share with all of you, that if you don't allow the other person to make money, you are never going to make money. And you may make it, but you will never have the satisfaction of being able to respect people who have been part of your journey to success. So soon after all this happened, I was working in a factory here at Intercraft, and then I went to Canada and worked with a factory because I really did want to understand how does the trade function in the West rather than in India. So here I was. I took off in 84 and spent a year in Toronto uh, running a knit factory. And that was a really wonderful experience. It was from a very chaotic country that I came from, a very chaotic manufacturing process. In spite of the fact that companies like Intercraft, Gokuldas, Raymond's, they were very integrated. They had line systems. They had Japanese technicians to work with them. And most manufacturing production people were sent to Japan to learn these techniques. But the system still remained, whether it was banking or whether it was communication, whether it was logistic, the system still remained very chaotic. And I must say that that has pretty much not changed even today. And so that was one of the biggest learnings that I had in Canada, was everything was so simple. It was, I used to get, after 1 hour in the factory, I used to get bored. There was no excitement, there was no drama, There was no labor not coming. There was, checks used to come automatically without having to, talk to the customer. So I got to have an idea of both sides of the world. And then I came back and I said, I must get into buying. Uh, then I joined Banaras House. And luckily for me, that year was the India promotion in, this is 86. This is, yeah, 86. It was India promotion in JCPenney stores. And we had a $40 million budget to spend in India. $40 million at that time was very big business. I mean, at that time, I couldn't even count the numbers and say what, and the footprint was very, very big. We had to not only do apparel for them, we had to do all handicrafts, crafts. So we had to work with Saharanpur, Muradabad, Nepal, India, Bangalore. We set up something like 40 apparel factories in that period of time. And 40 apparel factories, let me tell you, in 86 was not a joke to organize, because there were very few factories who could do the kind of compliance that a company like JCPenney wanted. So we did the compliance for 40 factories, because the business was huge. We had set up, in fact, I was instrumental to help them set up Airlinks, which was, we had cargo, we had charter flight cargo during that period of time. We set up SGS. After training in New York, I had to go for a special training to set up SGS for testing for all the products that went to America at that time. So that was the first testing laboratory that did business for the export business. And that was in Bombay. And I still remember the director, Dr. Jam Khindikar. We had to, for apparel, we had to get in touch with the embassy to get a front loading washing machine to do the testing. So you can imagine, we had to work from absolute scratch to build this business. Those factories which we worked with, those 40 factories, I would say that at least 50% of those 40 factories are now not doing business um, less than maybe 50 crores to 100 crores. That compliance, that sorting out the factories, setting them, giving them the line system and the advice really worked very well. However, I would say that in the handicraft part of the business that we had to do with Saharanpur, Muradabad, although the business was huge for these cities, it never they we were never able to put them together to do business in a systematic manner. So I think that business with those companies for JCPenney went very less. And then after this, uh, well, JCPenney started their own office and pulled me out of Banaras House, and I started their whole operation in India. That was 89, 90. And I stayed with them for about 2 years, and then I said that it's a good time now to leave, because after JCPenney in those days, there was nothing else really to look forward to. And I was very, very keen that I should start my own business. And fortunately for me, the European arm of JCPenney, Sarma Lux, in Belgium, the director there was very kind. He said that we will start your business for you. And so here I was with just 10,000 rupees in my pocket and ready to start a business. So those were innocent times, and I won't say I regret anything at all from there. And that was 1991. Along with this period, I'd already started advising NIFT and set up courses for NIFT for export merchandising management. And Dr. Dali Koshi was there at that time, and Dr. Saptrishi from the ministry. And in fact, they always said that your courses run so well that we are making more money on your courses than in the regular merchandising courses that we have. So we did that for about 3 years. And then, of course, I had to give back to the industry of what I had learned. And that was one of the finest way that I could do it. It really made my mind empty to be able to learn things after giving all the information that I had learned in the last 11 or 12 years. And then business with Belgium was very little. So we decided, rather, I decided. Actually, when I started the business, I started with two partners. One was director Otto Vassan, who'd quit Otto, and one was president of Citibank. So we three started off with the business, but the lady, Linda Penkemper from Otto Vassan, decided to go back to Germany, and the Citibank gentleman thought that it is too tedious to work in this export industry. Roz kuch na kuch hota hai. There is not that much money as I can make. So he went back to working on stocks and stock business. And here I was left to do this business alone. So I decided that I will go solo. And soon after that, I set up office in Los Angeles for business in America because I'm very, very America centric and had deep relationships not only with JCPenney, with many other companies. So we started an LA office, and if you name any brand in USA of that time and even currently, I've done it and been there. Whether it is Esprit, whether it was Merry-Go-Round, whether it was Cherokee, whether it was Harley Davidson, whether it was Liz Claiborne, I don't know how many brands. I've been very fortunate. I never had to work with importers. I always worked with retailers and I've always worked with brands. That's why I'm very spoiled in the industry. Uh, and at that time, business was not that good in the mid 90s in the United States. So we decided, I said, I think I need to start my European business much more, pay more attention towards that side of the business. So in 92, I mean, everything happens simultaneously when you start a business. So you can't really say, so I had this NIFT open front, I had LA office open front, and I had Belgium running up and a few other small customers here and there. So I decided that, okay, fine, now we have to get some European customers. And the Lian Hung director, actually, I seem to be very lucky with my friends, is a friend of mine, is currently still a friend of mine in Hong Kong. And he introduced me to Cortefield, which is one of the biggest buyers today in India. Cortefield, Springfield, Pedro del Hierro, and Women's Secret. So they started business with me. I think the first order that I got was for $500. That's it. They were quite. If it hadn't been for the introduction, I don't think so. They would have paid. And one of the people who actually I couldn't. I remember going to one of the factories that we worked with JCPenney, and they said that Rohini, $500, hum kya karenge, and all that sort of stuff. I don't want to name the company. So I said, okay, theek hai, don't. And then Alok Textiles actually had set up a small unit in Delhi at that time, a pilot unit. They took over the order and they did a brilliant job, and they had the growing business with Cortefield for quite some time. So we continued with Cortefield till I think 2005 or 6. So that was a long innings with them. And by that time, they were all set to set up their own office. The management in Cortefield had changed. So many things had happened at that time. So I decided that I needed to stop working so hard in the industry. And the interim also, I forget to mention, I'd started the first association of buying agents in, I think, in the 90s itself. At that time, there were hardly any buying agents. We were about 40, 50 of us. There were some requirements with the government in terms of taxation of service exports that were required to be deleted for us, for the buying agents. So we all got together with the support of Garment Exporters Association, actually, who are the starting body of AEPC. So the members of that, like Gujral, etc., and all that, they said that then they asked me to start the Association of Buying Agents. So I did that, and with the other members also, which was Triberg was there already at that time, and many others, many of us in those 40, the top buying agents of the country today. We all got together and we were able to get the ordinance removed and the exim policy changed. So after that, it was a different time. There were less number of buying agents, and we floated that operation and also joined hands with. We actually asked Tirupur to join hands with us, and they then started calling all the buying agents, and so we had both the chapters, Delhi as well as Tirupur, to be able to push this service exporters, taxations, away from the buying agents. And that was a big achievement because it was 18%, and we were able to uh, get that deleted from, because we had to go right till the exit policy with the textile ministry, the commerce ministry, DGFT, and with the exim policy writer. We literally had to change the whole thing. I had to read the whole exim policy at that time. I hope I never have to do it again. And well, that was part of the buying thing. Um, then after the Quarterfield, the LA office, and there was some. I just decided that I needed to stop the business, so I stopped the operations, but I continued to consult for one of my Japanese companies. And I think I made a lot more money while consulting than running the business. So it's I did that for about 4 5 years, and that continued till 2015. And here I am now, thanks to Christine actually pulling me out. I saw the several mails from the buying agents, which is when the founding members started, but I was absolutely loath to put my foot back into the industry. But Christine, I think she actually fished me out. I saw the mails, but I refused to respond to them. She just landed up one day and said that, would you like to? And I said, then I thought about it for about 3 months, and I said, all right, let's give it a go. And here I am talking to all of you and enjoying part three of knowing all of you. So I look forward to more such people who've done different things in life with different achievements, different stories, different thought processes. And I'm learning a lot at BA, I must say. They're wonderful people to work with, all very, very focused on doing something for the industry and promoting the business, as well as building exports for the country. And I'm completely committed to them till they need me. That's the way I look at it. And in the meantime, when I'm in the mountains, I do my social initiative programs, and I'll continue to do that. Thank you so much for listening to me. And I hope I was of value to all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much, Rohini ji. Thank you so much. Absolute pleasure. Always a pleasure to hear you, but extremely special today. Extremely
Thank you so
special.
much, Tanya.
One
Thank
thing
you.
that my mind's been wanting to ask you is, did you finally spend that $5,000 in New York, or did you save that too?
No, no, I bought my mom the most fanciest pearl necklace that I didn't save. I said the first one is a saving, the second one needs to be spent on
Very
someone
excited
special.
to New York.
South Sea black pearls.
Yes, absolutely. South Seas, Vishal.
I went diving there for the pearls, actually.
Yeah, that little money I remember much more than the amount I've earned otherwise, because that was a learning
Yeah.
and a teaching. So that was one of the good things that I learned. I've spent a lot of money, I must say.
Thank you so much, Rohini ji. So,
Thank you, Tanya.
I'd like to move forward for members who've just joined in. We are in the midst of our session three of Share Your Journey with members. And I'd like to move on, um, bringing on our second member here today. She has been in the industry for over 30 years with varied profiles, from a professor in Delhi University to corporate textile industry to global platforms. Her journey starts from Onday, top management of Bombay Dyeing, American Pacific country head, to her buying office called Green Linen. Also deeply involved with social and rural organizations and crafts, she has recently developed technical masks which are equivalent to N95 masks but are reusable. Friends, let's invite the multi talented Dr. Nidhi Shankar to share her journey.
Thank you so much, all of you. I feel very humbled being here and really appreciate all of your time. Um, I, uh, I, I think my entering the industry was very incidental. I come from a very humble background and Hindu. It was a Banaras family, very conservative. We're not allowed to go outside the big wooden doors. So cannot go out in the street. And with a father in the armed forces, and you learned your attitude of the uh, army, enjoy life, make the most of it. It doesn't matter what are the hardships, just let's do it right. And I guess that became the mantra over the years. And it was probably destiny where I was concerned because uh, I uh, my parents gave me and my husband gave me a lot of encouragement. I went on to do PhD, which gave me a lot of inputs. So I started as one of the youngest professors in Delhi University. Loved it. It was wonderful being the kids. I wouldn't say kids because some of them were my classmates, and went on to Mumbai. Did my PhD with Bitra, did a short stint at Leeds, working on computer color matching and computer aided textile design in the year 1990. So it was good fun, a lot of learning, the industry, um, working with the different machines, technical, dyeing, color, meeting scientists and researchers, developing innovative products. And thanks to that PhD, it just gave me, I hated studying. I hated studying. And I had to do it because my dad said, please study. And, but because of that, and that is something I would like to tell our younger generations, adding to your degrees, you just learn and you see more and you visit people, you get mindsets, which helps you later in life. So, like I gave the example in my later years, I got my opportunities only because of the degree. Had I stopped after my class 12, which I did not want to even do a bachelor's, I did bachelor's, master's, and PhD. I would probably be just anywhere. But I was shortlisted for this company, Hyundai, who was setting up an automotive division in India. And that is basically technical textiles. This was again 90s, mid 90s. So this is when the OEMs were setting up, the car OEMs were setting up factories in India. So you had Hyundai, General Motors, Maruti was in a full blast, and we were setting up fabric manufacture. Before that, if you remember, Fiat used to have the vinyls. So from the vinyls, we had all that soft fabric. Most of the younger generation won't even remember a vinyl on a car seat. But that's how one developed the fabrics with a lot of institutional sales, travel globally. And grateful to my mentors who gave me all the opportunities to learn. Used to travel like 4 days a week, whether India, always had a suitcase ready, let's go. India, overseas, did a lot of trip to Germany, learning how to develop the product in India. So it never made sense taking the technology and not being able to replicate. We had training programs where we would learn it, come back here, use the local raw materials, develop it very close equivalent so that one could sell it competitively within the Indian market. Then I went on for Bombay Dyeing, where I think those were one of the most glorious years. Like, it has so many talented people. That was the year that one was rebranding. Again, the shortlisting happened only because of the PhD. I don't know whether it's or not, but when you have so many applicants and there are very few, so the shortlisting happens with the hierarchy that's there. And as I always felt, I probably would have been a very good housewife. I just got opportunities out of by chance, I would say. And I used to love my work. I love my work. And that's another mantra that I always tell my teams, everybody. If you enjoy your work, you are so innate, you don't find it difficult. You just make it happen. And that's where in Bombay Dyeing, working with all those people, those were the years when the industry was reducing the manpower. So I started with 7 members and we went on to 36 members. I headed their product development and design. And here am I can't even draw a straight line. So I was, it was great fun. I had amazing creative people. I had amazing colleagues. Those were the days when the Bombay Dyeing Company was really very good. And I was involved with the export market, the domestic market, and the industrial. So we learned in every sphere. And I had I have a young daughter, and that's when life changed slightly. And I said, okay, I need to focus on her because we had her very late in life and wanted to give her the best. So I took a small break and came to Delhi. That's when from Mumbai. So I've always been a Mumbai girl. Very recently came to Delhi, so which is why not too familiar with a lot of people and having been more in the industry in Mumbai, just being very quiet and maybe quite shy within myself, very low profile, and came to Delhi and I got an appointment with American Pacific. That was India, Pakistan. So fortunate again for my mentors there, Jeremy Osorio, who was their head of sourcing. We every opportunity that I got, it was a huge learning. So we were part of a liaison office, so learning and understanding how the US works gave me a good experience of SG&A, their P&Ls and how they evaluate, their business mindset, the conversion factors, how do you get it, what kind of formats, how do they understand better. So before this, it was all production and industrial. That's when I went onto a global platform. Thereafter, it was Crucial and Excel. Again, enjoyed working, setting up offices. Probably had a great opportunity expanding the people. And it's these people and these relationships that I have been able to nurture, and they have been the ones who have grown me. And my opportunity for setting Green Linen came when one of my friends wanted some help in product development. So I said, okay, I'll develop it for you. And before I realized that I can be on 7 programs, and she got orders in 5 of them. 7 programs, 7 SKUs, and she got orders in 5 of them, and out of the blue. And I'd been so high up on the ladder, and I had to read a packaging, I had to read the label, and I know every shipment's date only because of the packaging is ignored. And I realized I did not know it so well to read it. And so from 1 member person, it became a 2 member person. And today we are fortunate, we are over 30 people pan India. But it's an organization that is run by the people, for the people, and it's a huge learning. So I still haven't given up my Teaching, I love teaching them. We have young team members. We work with our own systems, our own processes. We enjoy our work. So the mantra in our office is to enjoy our work. And I have very young staff. It is people who are trained, mentored, inspired, given opportunities, travel, enjoy work. That's the mantra. And to just sum it up, I would say that we have really enjoyed creating the opportunities for the artisans, and there's a brand that we're trying to create. Kanak, we work, while we have a main business that supports the office, being a very small institution, we live for the year as such. But we have enjoyed working with weavers, printers, artisans, craftsmen, stitchers. So we have Maheshwar down south, Tirupur, Salem area, Sundarban, uh, Jaipur. So we work with these craftsmen and we get perfect uh, boutique garments made. So we mentor with them, get their um, perfection and understanding to the requirements, and we sell this to buyers overseas, in a way giving them a platform. And it's like a no profit venture. It's like just ensuring that these people get an opportunity to share their wares. And like the yogic mask that we develop, it's just based on opportunities. So I would say the learning keeps going on. And as for me myself, I'm still learning to be an entrepreneur. I've never been an entrepreneur. So I've always worked as a professional. So trying to manage being an entrepreneur is something I'm learning at this age. And also planning for my teams and their futures is something that I'm learning. So thank you so much for your time and trying to share my journey with you. And I hope we can work together because I do see a lot of challenges in the global platform. And unless we all don't work together, here is an opportunity we as Indians can do. We just have to get it.
Yeah.
When you look at capacities, we don't have capacities. Uh, when we have orders, we don't have containers. So if we work together, our taxations, everything, if we work together, I'm sure we can do it. And I really appreciate how all of you have been getting us out of our shells. Thank you so much for it. Thanks.
Pleasure, Nidhi. Thank you. Great story. I
Thanks.
believe I met you while you were at Bombay Dyeing. Were you there during the time of KK Lalpuria?
Yeah, no, I was not in Lalpurias. I was during Adhirat Sareen,
Uh-huh.
Nino Khanna,
Yeah.
Malik sir. I am older.
Because I used
Mr.
to come.
Lalpuria came much later.
Because I used to visit the Bombay Dyeing with my clients.
Yes.
Yes. So I thought I maybe.
IKEA, I think. You used to do it for IKEA with
No. I used to work for Linen Source.
linen source. Yes, yes, yes. Lady there was there, na? Julie.
Yeah, Lisa Street.
Yeah. I think I used to come once in a while for the meetings. Yes.
I think so. Or maybe we came to Bombay. We probably met you.
Yes,
I
yes.
remember a couple of guys who were there also.
You're famous, man. It's a pleasure meeting you.
I wish I moved to Bombay then. Yeah, I would have made some more money instead of being here.
I'm sure you made more money. Money doesn't stay, it comes and goes.
No, I'm just joking. When you say you are famous, I should have been Bombay then, because if in case luck was there, I would have made like a filmy
Yes.
hero there then. But anyway, that's okay.
You remember Shah Rukh Khan, how he grew in our years? Look at
Yeah.
him now today. He was our time.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. I'll take leave, Tanya, if you would, please. Rohini ma'am, please. And Yogender, I'm sorry, I have to leave. Please go ahead, and I'll probably catch up next time.
Thank you,
And
Vishal.
thank you for joining in today, everybody.
Thank you,
Thank
Vishal,
you,
for being
everybody.
here. And
Nahi,
I'm
Rohini ma'am.
curious to hear. Thank you so much. The other two will
Sure.
catch up. All right.
Everybody. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you, Vishalji. Thank you, Dr. Nidhi. It's time to welcome our third member for today. He's the founder and director of sourcing company Royal Step India, serving quality products of leather footwear and accessories to Europe and Latin American countries. He started his company in 2014 and he has an overseas office in Chile. Let's welcome Yogendra Pratap Singh to share his journey from India to Chile.
Hello everyone. Hope you all are well in this coronavirus time. So, actually, for BAA, I'm very new, and I belong to leather industry mainly. I started when I was too young. I was just 18 years old. It was a legal age for doing job in India. So I was studying in leather footwear sector. You might have heard CFTI. It is Central Footwear Training Institute. I study from there, and then I study. Then I just joined a company manager in 2007. So from there we started my journey. So from there, I did my job for around till 2012. Then we started doing. I thought, okay, I should do any business related with, because I was very I was very curious to learn different things in merchandising, in marketing, development, and so every sector I worked in footwear. So in 2012, I started my doing business as a freelancer. I was uh, searching buyers online. I was searching. I was presenting myself, and there were two difficult time. Um, I was getting. I mean, I was cheated many times. So in 2014, I started my own company with the registration and everything. And and I met one person. He's a Sindhi guy from Chile. He's Indian guy. He's living in Chile since last 25 years. So same like me. We meet each other, and then we started business in footwear sector. He used to do business from China, and he moved more business to the India, and I was the sourcing part of for their office. So I'm the part of his office, like that. We and right from the beginning, बहुत सारे challenges ऐसे आए कि कोई entertain ही नहीं करता था कि नया बंदा है, कैसे आएगा, कैसे है, हम लोग काम कैसे करें. तो मैंने अपना काम 3 एक्सपोर्टर्स के साथ स्टार्ट किया, जो कि उनके भी पहले एक्सपोर्ट थे, मेरे भी पहले एक्सपोर्ट्स थे. तो उन्होंने मुझसे देट वाज टू चैलेंजेस. मैंने उनको सिखाया कि ऐसे होता है, वैसे होता है, how to handle the logistic, how to handle the quality, how to handle the everything, how to handle every the process of the making goods. So that's the way. उन्होंने भी 3 कंपनी पहले एक्सपोर्ट थे, मेरे भी पहले एक्सपोर्ट थे, और नाउ touch wood, we are getting a lot of respect from them, because they are also growing with us. We are also growing with them. And recently in 2018, we have launched our own footwear brand in India. We have two brands. One name is Eastern Arrow, and second name is Urban Revolution. So very soon you will see on the website and on the e-commerce platform. So with BAA, it I'm very I mean कि मेरी इंडस्ट्री से काफी कम लोग होंगे जो फुटवेयर इंडस्ट्री से इस BAA में होंगे. तो I cannot tell much more. This is my introduction. So thank you so much, guys, so they giving me time because I have to go somewhere else for a meeting.
Thank you, Yogendra ji. Thank you so much for joining us. It was very, very interesting to hear all about you and all about your journey from Delhi to Chile and how you found your partner. I'm also having some electrical issues here.
Okay,
Um,
that's good.
yeah,
That's good.
and thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Thanks for
Thank
joining.
you.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you also, Yogender. It was nice to hear you. Chile
Yes,
has some of the most famous wines come from Chile. I
right.
Yeah.
think you should know that.
Voice.
I had a customer in Chile also for a
Yes,
very long time.
oh,
Very
that,
nice place.
yeah, yeah.
And
I've been there because, but from India to travel Chile, it is
yes,
quite difficult. It's a,
it is very difficult. It is very difficult. And I must credit you for building a customer in Chile because it is really not a very easy task to do that at
yeah,
all. It is the distance is
to,
it's 46 hours door to door when you travel.
yeah,
So
yeah. Because जब मेरे को जाना होता है तो मैं अपने एक महीने पहले से ही वार्म अप करने होने लग जाता हूँ कि मेरे को जाना है.
मैं समझ सकती हूँ कि उधर जाना कुछ आसान काम नहीं है.
US
But
we can travel to US very easily, but
yes, yes,
for Chile it's quite difficult.
it
Uh,
is. It is.
we have started our business to USA as well.
Uh,
You, as you were talking the brand, you might have heard about the lugs. Yeah,
it's a shoe business, right?
shoe business, not in garment, not in any other thing. So only shoe.
Okay. All right. All
So
right.
I'm typically shoe guy
You're a
because
shoe guy. Good.
yeah,
Good to know. Good to know that we have shoe guys here also, apart from apparel and handicrafts and other textile areas.
we are
So,
leather products also we are doing like leather jacket, leather bags. Uh,
acha,
but main the primary work is my technical things allowed shoes.
excellent. बहुत
Yes,
अच्छा लगा आपसे मिलके योगेंद्र जी that you have charted a completely different course with
yeah,
a not so easy country and
yeah,
also
yeah.
the payments आजकल के payments कैसे रहते हैं चिली के because earlier it was quite different. You had to take advance otherwise you may not be get paid in Chile. So what is the situation there now?
It is difficult, but the best part is we have a office over there. When
Correct.
go for they do delay for the payment, my person go to their office. Why you are not
Uh,
doing?
oh,
So
that's good.
from starting in starting we have did LC, we have did 70 30%, so 30% and 70%. We did CAD, but nowadays things are getting changed. Now very difficult. Now we are doing business with the reputed because we know the customer on the TT 90 days open account. That
Okay, open account.
I
What is what is the logistics now for Chile? Are you doing sea, air, or only sea?
mainly we are doing C, but sometimes we do air and AC both. It
Okay,
depends, but air freight is very expensive for the customer in Chile. It,
right, right.
because of the shortage of the flight connection is very bad.
How much time does it take you to ship your goods now to port, Chile?
It takes 55 days to 60 days.
So it's one of the most difficult countries. It still is not so easy.
That's why it's not Chile is very. I mean, there are a lot of challenges. We sometimes try
Yes.
we reduce our production time because China is doing very good. China is doing they have trade relation because Chile has copper. So and China is buying copper from there, and uh,
Oh.
they are buying other merchandise from China. So we have
It's easy for China because they're on the Pacific coast.
yeah
Pacific. So it's easy. The transportation is closer than from India. Mm.
yeah. They have route is very good, but
Yes, yes, yes.
good. So that's why it takes time. And it is very difficult market. But anyway, the touch wood, we are growing every time just because of our quality product, just because of our services, just because of our commitment, deliveries. Because I personally, with my team, I personally involved in the production. Sometimes difficulties are coming because I'm technical guy, so I personally goes into the production. I
Excellent.
think, and sometimes it takes long night because footwear industry is so unorganized, so unorganized. You cannot, if you are not present physically present there, you cannot make the goods. So this.
That's true. That's true. So more power to you, Yogendra. I hope as you've charted some really interesting area to
Yeah,
work with, and wish you very well.
thank you.
And keep in touch.
Sure, sure,
Thank
sure.
you. Thank,
I'll
thank
I'm
you.
happy to listen to everybody, but whenever I will leave, I will say to bye.
All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Yogindra ji. Unfortunately, that's all we have for today. Our member Rajni sir could not join in because of the last minute emergency that he had.
That's
So
good.
we,
We will leave also.
yeah, so we'll move him on to the now session 4. But I do request all our members to come forward, participate actively. This is such a casual chit chat that we have, and it's just, I think it's unwinding from our busy schedule throughout the week. I think give ourselves this 1 hour at least once a month to meet up with all our members and our fraternity and catch up. So please do participate more actively. Um, Come forward and talk about your experiences and journeys. Yeah. On that note, I would like to call the end of the meeting. Does anybody have any questions for the members here? Does anybody want to ask any questions or
Is there any more person related with the leather footwear industry in this group?
um,
We could get you some data, Yogendra. However, I would strongly recommend we are flag bearer on this. Please take it forward on behalf of me. Bring more people on. I'm sure we have a few of them here, especially the bigger agencies like Asmara and Impulse and Triberg, who obviously are doing leather and footwear, not only specifically leather and footwear. But please go forward, be our guy there, bring on board more people from your industry and
I
make them a part of the game.
I'm trying to invite more people.
That is absolutely fantastic.
that's fantastic.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Tanya. Thank you for organizing this. It was indeed very interesting to hear everybody.
Thank you, Achal. Thank you, Tanya. Thank
Thank
you,
you
Thanks.
so much.
Seema.
Thank
Bye
you, everyone.
bye.
Bye
Okay,
bye.
Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe, stay healthy.
Bye, Rohini. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye
Bye.
bye. I see Sohan. So bye bye and hello.
Bye, everybody.
So Sudhir, I don't see where he is. Where are you, Sudhir? You had come on. I see Sumit. It is cold in Muradabad, Sumit.
Yeah, still in Muradabad. I was in for last 10 days. Got the test done. Now negative. So
Uh,
back to work.
back to work, Sam. You
Back
are
to
yet
work.
to visit me.
Yes.